In Pakistan, as she opens her eyes to the world, a girl's family is very saddened as they'd wished for a boy. She grows up to be less loved than the boys who get more food and access to proper education. She may have to go to primary school only. In majority of cases, upon reaching puberty, she has to quit studies. Despite all pleas, she is forced into early marriage, sometimes to an old man. She remains unaware of her basic rights as an equal party to the marriage contract and hardly gets to know her rights laid down in her nikahnama. She develops serious health complications before reaching 40 due to multiple childbirths. Like elsewhere in Pakistan, violence against women is prevalent in Khyber Pakhtuunkhwa as well. According to an Aurat Foundation report of 2012, women in Khyber Pakhtuunkhwa are at a high risk of subjugation, but culture and societal norms in the province make it harder for women to report violence against them. Statistically, during January and June 2012, around 283 violence against women or VAW cases were reported in Khyber Pakhtuunkhwa, but the number is 6% of the countrywide incidence of such crimes. Around 55% of violence against women incidents reported in Khyber Pakhtuunkhwa in 6 months were of murder, totaling 157, while the province registered 9 cases of abduction and kidnapping during the period. Overall, 32 cases of domestic violence, 23 of honor killing, and 30 of suicide were reported in the province between January and June 2012. In Khyber Pakhtuunkhwa, the prevalence of sexual violence was reportedly low, as 7 cases of rape or gang rape were reported in 6 months.
Taking Pakistan and coming to KP, it's really the man-chauvinism society here in KP. Women is just considered to be cooking, cleaning the house, looking after the children and husband. Of course, Islam does say that is the women's role. But Islam doesn't prohibit a woman from going out and studying.
In our part, in Khyber Pakhtuunkhwa, we have seen that the customary practices which are in vogue in parts of Khyber Pakhtuunkhwa and the adjoining tribal areas that are so well entrenched in our society that it's really very difficult to change that situation. The honor killings issue, that is the most important, and following that is that of the domestic violence. That is a very unfortunate thing in our society. And another certain other we are having certain other customs here, like you might have heard about swara, and then there is the practice of ghag, which is in certain areas. There are certain major issues pertaining to that, because of the reason that mostly in our case, especially in the Pashtun society, the nikahs are not being registered.
Women are forgotten. Women are not included, absolutely not included. Their point of view, their concern, their feeling, their emotion, their suffering, these are not known, because this is not part of the strategies to go deeper into the issues which are faced by women. We have come across many women who are heading because men are not there. Still, she doesn't have that confidence. She refers to an elderly person. Okay, everything she's doing, but then she would refer to an elderly male in a family that, I have to have final say from grandfather or whoever.
Article 34 of the Constitution of Pakistan ensures full participation of women in national life, keeping alignment with global notion of gender mainstreaming and livelihood improvement. The government of Khyber Pakhtuunkhwa has shifted its concern for equity of women in all spheres of life, including socio-economic and political spheres. One such attempt was made by forming the Provincial Commission on the Status of Women.
Review programs, policies and projects and making recommendations to the provincial government for greater impact for women development in the province, assessment and review of legislation for women empowerment, and monitoring of institutions of social care and procedures of social care for women in the province are a few major functions of the Commission.
Ms. Zubaida Khatun was appointed as its first chairperson.
Although the Commission acts as at all executive decisions lie with the chairperson, and yet when some request used to go, some case used to be moved with them, it used to be going all the way from to the section officer and coming all the way up to the additional secretary who was nominated as our thing. So that problem will keep coming surfacing unless the Commission becomes financially and administratively autonomous. My wish would be that the Act is amended for 3 issues. 1, it should not say preferably female women, it should just say women activists with actual experience, proven experience in the field of activism. We all have our political affiliation, but if you are an active member of any party, it should be a no-no. The selection process. It should not be just one advisor or one minister doing that. It should be, I had suggested a board, if you remember, a board which is under the chair of the Social Welfare Department. It has member from civil society and an outgoing chairman and the outgoing chairperson on it. 3 to 5 people at the most, so that a list is drawn up, and from there wider knowledge comes on the selection of the people.
Currently, under the Gender Equity Program, the Provincial Commission on the Status of Women is being funded in a number of ways, is being supported in a number of ways to strengthen the Commission for advocacy and research. Under the research program component of the partnership, of the collaboration, the Commission is receiving support for strengthening mechanisms in terms of legislation and policy and administration.
The project aims at supporting the Commission for its primary role of advocacy and research. The current Commission is following a vision to empower women to improve their overall status in the province.
For the Commission to be effective in its role advocating for the rights of women, we need the help of all the stakeholders and the various institutions who play a major role to enable the Commission to perform its duty. Without their help, we cannot do it. We will be much slower in delivering what we can basically promptly and effectively deliver. We are looking at the government to notify the district committees on the status of women to enable us to give policy recommendations to benefit the women at the grassroots level.